I've been really busy these last couple of days, and I have been out learning I wouldn't say it's a new lesson. Part in what I want to talk about today is that healing from grief is not linear. I have spent the last 4 days just going over and over and over again in my mind what may or may not happen in the future. It's gonna happen to me, and just all kinds of different things. To me, it feels a lot like I have sort of fallen back, and that I have erased some of the progress that I've made in my healing because of the way that I'm feeling. But I don't think a lot of people would agree with me. And I don't think that this video is gonna be me explaining something that I've already learned. I think that this video might be me sort of just rambling to the camera and maybe rationalizing it out on my own. These last 4 days, when it came to trying to manage my feelings about my grief, it's been difficult. I can't lie, I've been pretty sad these last few days. I'm surrounded by a lot of fear right now, I think, and a lot of anxiety. But I heard something once that the times, like take the gym for example, in that the times that you're actually getting better, when you're lifting the weight and you're hurt, your muscles hurt and they feel like they're breaking and it's painful, and then the next day when you are on your rest day and you're sore and you can't move and it's really rough doing all of the things that you need to do, and you're hurting. Those moments that you're hurting the most are the times that you're actually getting better, are the times that you're actually improving, and things are changing within you that you just can't really see. And we've done such a good job at being able to say, like, for the gym, like, oh, I want to get a good pump and I want to get, real sore, because being sore means I did a good job. And there is a level of satisfaction to it. I've been going to the gym for long enough to where I don't get sore after every single workout, but sometimes I do, and when I do, I wake up the next day and I have a little soreness in my back or in my biceps or my chest, and I think to myself, that's like, wow, that's a pleasant surprise. I must have really stepped it up. And I really wish that grief was like that too. I really wish that we could see that feeling grief heavier means that we've been carrying it for so long that it does truly start to weigh us down. But the only reason that it's weighing us down is because we're sore from having carried it for so long. And while we do have to keep carrying it, and we can't just drop it and put it down and walk away without it, someday you're not going to be sore anymore. The grief won't be detrimentally painful to carry. And it's after you get over that period of soreness, which is, I wonder if what I'm going through right now, after you get through that period of soreness, does it become that you carry it a lot more effectively? I mean, you know what they say, it's always darkest before the dawn, stuff like that. I had to accept some things that were difficult for me to accept, and I might talk about them in a future video, I don't know. maybe, maybe not. I can't tell you right now. But coming to the conclusion of those things was really painful. And it was really hard for me to do, because I think in part it had been a coping mechanism to avoid having to look my pain in the eye. And there's something called extinction burst in psychology, where when you are trying to actively avoid doing a habit that is painful or not is harmful to you, but maybe provides, I guess in this example, it provides a temporary release from whatever pain it is, emotional pain you're feeling. In this context, an emotional burst would be, okay, an extinction burst would be, I have done a good job at tampering this habit down, and it doesn't feel necessary very much anymore. And then one day you just get an overwhelming urge to do it again. You get an overwhelming urge to do the thing that you know is not going to be helpful, but it gives you a little bit of respite. And for me, that habit was trying to talk myself into trying to find a reason as to why I should possibly break no contact with my ex. Just, I say to myself, well, there's things that I haven't said, or how do I know I'm ever going to hear from her again? And the truth is that I just don't. And I have to accept that. And that's one of the things that I've accepted over these last couple of weeks, is that I just don't know. And I can't know, because I am limited to living in the present. I am limited to living what is happening right now in front of me. And I've been trying to stick with that. I really have. I really want to stay present, and I want to master staying in the moment and acknowledging and letting go of the future and the past. I think that I do an okay job at letting go of the past. I don't think I'm bad at that. But letting go of my interpretation of the future is a little bit more difficult. So truth be told, these last few days have been really hard for me. I don't think I would say that I've been doing well these last few days. But that doesn't mean that I've given up hope on the rest of my life. Yesterday, when I was kind of grappling with one of the realizations that I had come to, I started calling myself mean things again. And I started saying pessimistic and not helpful things, I suppose. I don't think that I was as nasty as I have been to myself in the past, but I said things like, you're not worthy, or that you just weren't enough. And last night I made the executive decision to allow myself to kind of go into those thoughts a little bit, with the caveat that the next morning, which would be today, that I would not allow those thoughts to grow. And it's time to put those thoughts back into the box. But I think it helped me last night a little bit to sort of accept it. It made me realize what doing that to myself really was for myself. And me calling myself unworthy, and me calling myself undeserving and saying, like, I guess you just weren't enough, is a coping mechanism. It is a way for me to not have to look what is happening, what my reality in the eye. And that goes back to, what I said about hating yourself, is that hating yourself is the antithesis for a growth mindset. It's never going to help you get to where you want to be in life. It's never going to help you achieve any goals. My goal is to become somebody who's wise and somebody who stares pain in the eye when it comes and knows how to live alongside of it. And by doing that, by allowing myself to sort of give into those thoughts again, it was me putting off having to feel, and it was me putting off having to accept my reality for what it is, not for what I thought would be a valid enough reason for it to be why it is. So, don't hate yourself. Don't spend your days in a thought loop about things that you can't control. And, I'm probably going to go forth in my day and do my best to not do that. Because I don't want to. I want to just be at peace and be content with what I have and live alongside the pain. And living alongside pain and accepting pain doesn't mean that you're happy with it or that you always find some grand lesson within it or that you always try and see it as a good thing. It just means saying, you know what, I acknowledge that I'm in pain and there's nothing that I will or should do about it. And I think as long as I can maintain that, as long as I can continue to act on that mindset, then at the end of the day, I'm winning the battle against myself. I don't like that. I want to rephrase that. That I'm effectively commanding myself. I have better control of myself. I'm the one that makes the decisions, not my grief or my anger or my sadness. So anyway, no script today. I just wanted to rant, get something out, because it's been a few days since I've uploaded anything. I love you all. I hope you all find peace. Every single one of us is going to be okay in the end. And if we're not okay, then it's not the end. So,